Hello, I hope you're having an amazing day. I want to tell you that you are a genius, you are special, you mean the world, and you are loved. Today's topic is how to be happy. So, this is something that really takes a lot of creative power for myself because I've have, an extensive amount of time having my own experience with living through the heart, but also I've shared this with others. And to me, how to be happy the most correct answer is creating happiness within. The problem I encounter with my quick response is that if you're living, depending on where you're living, you're going to misinterpret this. I'll share with you at one time in my journey, I was living through the paradigm, the best way to think is by not thinking. So what does this mean? I became conscious. I had my first awakening. I became conscious that I can be conscious, but I kept living unconsciously. The only thing I was conscious of was my thought stream. So, in that paradigm, I remember watching Sadhguru, listening to The Law of Attraction, The Secret, Bob Proctor, Infinite Waters was someone I listened to, even reading the Bible. And that paradigm validated what and how I was living my life. Little and behold, fast forward to the future or present day, now I see that depending on how you are viewing your life and how you're affecting your life, chances are you're always going to be validating your experience in life. So I say this because the quick answer is to be happy, you have to create happiness. And the thing is, we shouldn't look at happiness externally. But because the comforts we have in our society, Uber Eats, we have, sexual content at our fingertips, and we all know that sexual energy is the most powerful energy. I mean, that brings you instantaneous pleasure. And we have, like dog walkers, and we have, refrigerators, air conditioning, lights, movies. Some of us have theaters in our homes, a lazy boy. We have amazing vehicles. I no longer have to walk to work. I have a bike or a vehicle. We have Bentleys, Bugattis. We have clothing that costs more than some people like consume in food in a whole year. Our external life is so well engineered that we have lost touch. We have become desensitized to what's inside of us, what we can actually tap into. And that is the infinite world of like your higher faculties, your heart, not just your brain. Your brain is an excellent instrument, ladies and gentlemen, and I invite you to use it. But your heart is tenfold like 10 times better than your brain. So to you, depending on where you are, I want to tell you that to be happy, you have to be happy. So there's a lot of answers to how to be happy. I can tell you you got to accept everything that's thrown at you. Well, I'll be the devil's advocate, and I'll point us to some lyrics from Drake, Aubrey Drake. He's a Canadian rapper, and one of his lyrics is, "They say take the good with the bad, I take it without." So what is he saying here? Take the good with the bad, I take it without. He's clearly painting the picture that he's an alchemist, that he's a creator of his world. He doesn't take the bad. I mean, most of us look at life and say like, yeah, it's a double-sided coin, and all I have to do, the all that's in my power is simply react positively to my environment. If I get slapped in the face, then I have to, hug this person, or if I get fired, I have to be optimistic, and I have to keep my head held high, and all these high spirited things, but that's not the answer. It's not entirely the answer. I mean, there's a lot of things if you want to be happy. First of all, like I'll share the story. At one point in my life, I was smoking cigarettes. I've never been addicted to cigarettes. I've always smoked them in cycles. Like sometimes I'll smoke and sometimes I don't. But the last time I was in that cycle of letting go of cigarettes was very interesting. One, I was in a very negative place in my life, but secondly, the unconscious thought would coming like, well, you need to do what is happy. Like if a cigarette makes you happy, then you're free to smoke the cigarette. And you know, fast forwarding to present day, like you can call me a hippie tree hugger. Sharing how to live through the heart, which is for some like something very spiritual. So that's all to say that, knowing that happiness is really the key to life, whenever I heard the thought of, well, you don't necessarily have to stop smoking a cigarette because it makes you happy, there was that big conundrum. What should I do? Should I listen to facts and science? Should I not smoke the cigarette because of the outcomes it has? Or should I accept that they do make me happy and smoke the cigarette? I paint this picture, and it's an ugly picture, simply so we can understand how attractive, how difficult it is whenever we're not living a conscious life. Whenever we're not living a conscious life, we're simply following my thought stream, as I once was whenever I was trying to stop smoking cigarettes. The unconscious thought comes, I want to stop smoking a cigarette. And then I'll probably go a couple days, and then comes this super intelligent thought, and that was, well, it makes you happy. So there I go, lighting up a cigarette, right? Um, so the thing is, we have to really become conscious of like how we can affect our body, and the basis of the human life is chemical. We can look at your chemistry when you're happy, and it's going to be in a certain way. We can look at your chemistry when you're feeling anxious, depression, fear, and it's going to look a different way. What does this mean? That the basis of the human experience is chemical. So what you should do to be happy is use your internal systems. Use your brain, but not even use your heart. Use the greatest instrument that you have to your in your arsenal, which is the heart. And with this, you can create an elevated emotion. Why is the answer so easy for me? Whenever I'm asked, how do you be happy? How to be happy? You create that emotion. Why is it so easy for me? Because I have the experience. If you're hearing this, you're you don't you haven't tasted the water to, diving into yourself and creating this consciously. Happiness to you is when life is happening your way. Happiness for 8 out of 10 human beings is when life is happening your way. If life is happening your way, you're going to say, I'm happy. Well, what happens when life is not happening your way? You're not happy, and your suffering affects other people. That's why I decided on this purpose, to show people that, actually, you don't need anything external. You can affect your biochemistry without making any moves, without even like going to vacation, without having to do anything. So the answer is, to be happy, you have to be happy. But let's wake up to the fact that, we're not in the 1900s, in the 1800s. We're in a free world. It doesn't matter where you are. I'm in Honduras, which is a third world country. But there's the Internet of Things. So we have the science of Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Bruce Lipton, Bob Proctor. We have epigenetics. We have quantum physics that's showing that my emotions and my thoughts create an outcome in my future. So what does this mean? Well, those are things that are unconscious for most people. Most people think that I can't control my thoughts and I can't control my emotions. Well, you're always going to have that thought stream. I mean, I'm living 100% conscious. I'm living through the heart, but I still have a conscious stream, and I still have emotions. But the thing is, I'm where I put my attention is where my energy goes. So I'm putting my conscious to create consciously an elevated emotion. So this translates into me constantly sending out signals to the universe, to my own physiology, of how I want to feel. What does this then do? It betters my immune system. You living through the heart today, creating an elevated emotion, non-locally affects everyone around you, anyone you think of, and your environment. So that's just a little bit of it. I can talk for hours and hours. The short answer is, to be happy, you have to create happiness. You can do this by only creating happiness with your physical body, which you're going to be limited. You can also do this by with your physical body and using your brain, that's to, consciously create thought or imagine. And the newest, the best, the ultimate way is by using your heart. So I invite you to, if you want to learn this mystical art of how to live through the heart, I invite you to contact me, reach out to me, and join my family. We're individuals that live through the heart, and we're masters at teaching how to live through the heart. Also, I invite you to share this video with your loved ones, your mastermind group, with your best group of friends, and also comment below. What do you do to be happy? How are you happy? And also share with me topics you'd like for me to cover in the future. Peace, love, and happiness. Goodbye.